Bright suns and rising moons, fellow droids. Welcome to another episode of Not the Droids. I'm Mayuri,
And I'm Danny.
and we are going through episodes 7 and 8 today on our chat. Danny, can you tell us a little bit more about the episodes and when they were released?
So, episode 7 is The Jedi and the Thief and The Missing Kibbin. They released on Disney Plus May 4th and on Disney Junior on June 9th. And then episode 8 will cover The Girl and Her Gargantua and The Show Must Go On, which released on both Disney Plus and Disney Junior on August 2nd.
Oh, so they started finally releasing at the same time?
Yeah.
Is that because, so I know we've chatted about this, but is it because some of the show was released on YouTube or something before and then Disney Plus
I'm
caught
not sure
it?
the
Or
reasons. I should have looked that up prior, but I don't know the reasons. But also, you know how like a lot of shows will do like a half season to test it?
yeah,
And I bet because the first chunk up to episode 7 was released on May the 4th.
so they must have just tested it out and
Done like a
then
test run and then dropped the second half of the season at the end of the summer.
yeah, but it will be nice that they are now on the same schedule.
We'll see if it stays.
uh Yes, yes. So, as usual, after our discussion today, we welcome any and everyone who is interested to join us on Discord and continue the conversation. All the links and stuff are on our Instagram page if you just follow through to the link tree. And yeah, if you have any thoughts or interesting takes on the episode, we'd love to hear it. So, let's just get into it. And again, the reoccurring theme for both of us is like the Kai of it all. Like, I would like to say this first episode, The Jedi and the Thief, was very much being like, Kai, I also think you're terrible from Master Sia, and being like,
I don't think
oh,
that was the case. I think it was Master Zia being like, I was the same way.
that's true. She was the same way.
Hmm?
I did. So it was funny because like they started off the episode and they had like the costume for the training droid, which I thought was funny. The fact that the Tabor mask was literally like a bucket that they stuck on top of the droid was hilarious. And I guess she's like, I see myself in you, so let me teach you how to not be so singular of thought, I
How to
guess.
not judge a book by its cover.
That was exactly the lesson. I like that you shortened it because I very much wrote the full quote from the show that says, even if someone has done bad things before, they can still do good.
They can still choose to do
They
good.
can still
I have
choose
the
to do
quote.
good. Oh, you have the full quote. Which I thought was a great lesson, and I do think Kai needed to learn that.
Mhm.
Um
I
but
think it's
I
a good
did.
lesson because sometimes people want a villain, and we don't know enough about Tabor yet. I'm sorry, but like,
I'm telling you, Tabor is still, one of my favorites. Like, we don't
mhm.
know enough about him. He's just trying to get going. Not that we actually saw him in this episode, but I
We
did
didn't
like
see
that
any
we
of our friends. This was the Kai
no,
show.
it was just all Kai, and we got a lot of Master Zia. So I will say
That
it
was
was
fun, and we got to meet Ace Callisto.
oh yeah. So the one thing I'll say is I love that the person Faraz like full named Master Zia. I was just like Zia, Zaldor, Zanika. And I was just like truly just Z's across the board. We really love Star Wars for those. What is the word? Alliteration? Is that
Alliteration.
the word? Um, and also I do want to hear the story of the first time she messed up his speeder. Like, yeah, sure, take my speeder, but can you bring it back in one piece this time? And I
Nope.
was like, oh, what did she do? But yeah, Ace Callisto was hilarious. I loved her. She had no care in the world. She's like, I don't care. I saw it. I saw the ship. I
You're
figured it
like,
was
kid, you're
yours.
messing this up. Like,
Yeah. she was playing like a practical joke on her old arch nemesis,
Yeah.
basically, where she was like, I saw a ship, I thought it was yours, so I figured I would steal it and wait for you to take it back from me.
And these Jedi ship are valuable. Like,
Oh
she
yeah,
didn't even
that too.
lie. She's just like, these
I
guys are
love how
valuable.
she just like threw it in at the end. She was just like, "Oh yeah, also it's like super valuable or whatever, but this was more to get at you."
Yeah.
Um,
We didn't get a
but
named planet here. I will say that.
no, I
They
was
didn't name the
bummed, except
planet.
it
We
was
had no new droid friends. We did have a Stellat,
oh
which is our
yes, a
creature.
Stellat. It looked like a Stegosaurus to me. I was just like, "Oh, look, that's a Stegosaurus." I will say though, Kai, aside from like the lesson which he needed to learn, I think he also needs to learn that that lightsaber is literally not a toy. Like he just like wields it around like
But
crazy.
the thing is, can we discuss how we've had episodes where Kai like completely forgets he has a lightsaber?
And then we have an episode like this where
There's no
he
like in between. He's either like, all right, I have this tool I can use to like, I'm in the ship with my master who knows all the things, and I'm gonna go crazy with a lightsaber for this person that we've already like declared is my master's friend.
seriously like and then he starts waving it around electronic parts, like not even taking care of where it goes.
Spatial awareness, man.
Seriously, it's like, why would you open a lightsaber in a small cockpit while your ship is flying? There was no
And
fight.
do you really think you can do more than Master Zia?
Seriously, I feel like if something was to be done, Master Sia would have done it. And
Yeah.
then he just made it so much worse. So much
I like
worse.
how Ace was just like, kid, you've screwed up.
Ace was like, seriously, this was supposed to be a fun, practical joke. And now,
Yeah.
like, we actually have an issue. Um, but I will say, I thought it was good. I do like where they were trying to like like scare the still what is it, the Salat,
Yeah.
and he was just like, it was like, oh, you like the shiny thing, not scared of it, like you just it's like
Yeah. You're a cat.
and then they decided, they remembered that they had um like the little fire beams, the
Why did the blasters work, but everything else on the ship
yes,
did not work?
that's the word I was looking for. I'm like, okay, so then she ran back to the ship and used the blasters
But then
to
I
scare
guess
off.
the problem was the communication system didn't work. It wasn't necessarily the ship.
Well, I
So
mean, because like
because
they
they were in
wouldn't
the
be able to
cave.
fly,
The cave
so they
caused the
can't fly
communication
out.
issues.
Yeah, but because they wouldn't be able to fly out, and the comms were down because Kai hit the comms. Well, he must have hit something because the ship crashed for a reason.
The ship crashed, but I guess the blasters could have still worked because the comms weren't down because of the Kai. The comms were
Yeah,
down because they ended up in a cave.
that's true. But I just love that they like went back to use the blasters to scare away the Salat after. I
Yeah.
was like, well, you couldn't have done that.
But they didn't know. They didn't know the Stellat and the lighting.
That's true. That's true. But that's why it's funny.
And
And
at that
then,
point, there was still only one. Like,
oh yeah, the second one was a surprise. I won't lie, I was watching it and I was like, had to wait for him to be like, there's another one. And I was like, I thought we were just in a different perspective of the same one. But but yeah, so all was well. Ace did not escape like Kai thought that she would. She actually went back to help, which again hammers home the lesson that people can still do good. Um, and I love that like they got an emergency crew like that with a bunch of pit droids. And then I actually wrote a question for you because like I don't know if it's a Star Wars thing, but they were just like spraying something on Master Zia's ankle to fix it.
I'm assuming I'm going to use a term that's totally Star Trek. I'm like, it's a hyperspray. Like, we're in the
That's
future
what
here. They have fancy medicines.
that's why I was like, I don't, is that a thing? Is that how like, because it
The
didn't
thing
seem
is, like,
like they
as I
were.
think about it, I'm like, we see some, but we really don't see a lot of medical compared to like,
Yeah.
I'm like, in Star Trek, we're always in the medical bay.
Well, yeah. So that's where I was just kind of like, oh, that's the first time. Like, so does it like cure it? Does it just stabilize it? Like, who knows? Who knows?
It's a cartoon.
Um,
Go with it.
But yeah, so I mean, how did you feel about Kai being the singular focus of this episode?
Where's Nubs, man? And
Seriously, I will.
I get it. Kai is the problem child. He's the one that dressed up the droid, but still,
Yeah, I
I was
know.
so annoyed. I'm like, how is like Nubs hasn't even gotten his own story. Like, I would even take like, because I know Nubs doesn't speak really, minus his Poobian. I would love a like Avatar Appa's Day Out type of a situation. I would take that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I feel like, honestly, I feel like we're not going to get it.
I
I
know.
feel like the more time goes on, the more I think that Nubs was always meant to be like an afterthought pet situation,
I
even
don't
though
think
he's
he's a
like,
pet
well,
situation.
he not in that he's a pet, but they kind of treat him like something that's always just along, but never important enough to like learn more about.
I think we'll get more of him.
Okay, well, hopefully. Um,
So let's remember, we're going to reiterate that the lesson of this one is that even if someone has done bad things before, they can still choose to do good.
they can. I love that lesson. But I feel like as a determined gray person, I tend to enjoy that lesson the
You want your
most.
bad boys, so we get it.
Yes, they
It's
can
fine.
always choose to do good.
Well, let's move on to the missing Kibbin.
Yes, that was that was quite the episode. We
We
actually
got
got a
bounty
creature.
hunters.
Yes,
They put Nubs in a cage.
same thing. I was like, of the two of them that were the choice, why did Nubs end up in the cage? Like, why couldn't it be Liz? I was just like, it didn't make any sense. No sense at
The
all.
Kibbin's name is Figgles.
That was,
This Kibbin is definitely a cat.
yes, it was just a cat, but it was creepy. I gotta say, it like had the elements of a mouse and it was just creepy. But the tail was very like where there's a Pokemon that has like that swoosh tail, and I was like, oh, I kind of like it. But we did start this. I want to give Cab his props because that's the name of the guy, right? From the
The bounty hunter?
no, no, the guy
Who?
who owns the shop.
Oh, Hap.
Cabs Hap. Um, he's innovative. I enjoyed that they like in the beginning they had dumplings, and not only did they had one option, but one vegetarian option. I was like, "Ooh, look at that. He's innovating." But I did like the bounty hunter. He was like a big old like fake tough guy who's like past his prime
The teddy
and
bear. Anson
like
Strung.
Anson Strong. Um, did you like that he was like doing the tough guy act like with a deeper voice? He's like, "Let's go."
I work
Um,
for myself.
he's just like so used to doing things the mean way that he's just like never considered doing
I love
things
Listen that
nicely.
she's just like, let's try to ask in a different way, and
I know.
maybe we'll have better answers.
That was really funny when like he went to those two people in the fishing boat and he was just like, "Where's the kibbin?" They're like, were we supposed to have a
What's a
kibbin? Like,
given?
what
Like,
is a kibbin?" We're
and
just gonna
Alex
go
is just
away.
like, see this cute little animal? Have you seen it? No, but our fish are missing.
Yeah, like our fish are missing. Can you help us figure out why? I'm like, I love the obvious clues. It's like, oh, the channel fish are missing. Oh, cool, cool, cool. And then like we end up at Nash's home, which I don't think got like nearly enough attention. It's like all of a sudden the Kibbin led us to Nash's house
Yeah.
because Nash was eating a channel fish sandwich, maybe. Like that was it. That was the reason. But I was just like, it was like a cavernous place with just a lot of junk. Although I don't know that it's junk. I think it's just like parts
Parts.
for ships.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Yeah.
it vibes. And
But
our Kibbin, Mr. Figgles, I don't know if it's a Mr. I know it's Figgles, belongs to Raina, so we hear of Raina again.
yes, that was actually I laughed at the end because it's like it was so difficult to find this Gibbon, right, and get it. And then I was like, of course, it's, problem child Reina, like spoiled brat, gets like a really hard to control animal. Um,
Is it hard to control though?
Maybe not hard to control, but like, why did she lose it in the first place? Is it because
Why
she
does
wasn't feeding
anyone lose
enough?
their pet in the first place?
I don't know. I've never had a pet.
And
So,
that's why. Like, you don't understand ever having a pet.
so but I do love that, like, obnoxiously her and her uncle just like hired the best bounty hunter they know to find a cat.
Yeah.
They were like, we can't be bothered to find this cat. Here's some money. Here's some credits.
So
Um, but yeah, so I mean, the lesson I thought was possibly ask for help nicely.
I was going with working with a team.
Oh yeah, yeah. That could be it too, like, because that was the big thing. He's like, I'm always used to working alone.
Yeah, asking nicely and working with a team. I'll take both. We didn't have any actual quotes to handle this one.
I kind of like that. I will say whenever they do like quote the lesson, it's like hammered and hammered and hammered into our head
I
the
know,
whole
but I love
episode.
wrapping up our talk about an episode with the lesson.
It's like we knew the lesson. I'm like, I got thought the lesson was possibly asking for help nicely and not always having to act tough.
So
Um,
it was a fine episode. It was just like a little adventure.
yeah, I like I'm curious about the channel fish, but yes, I liked this episode. It was cute. I feel like it didn't focus on any one of the Jedi too
No.
much. Like I will say that this is the first episode I feel like actually we did get a Nubs moment in this episode where he was like trying to reach for the shelves and Ansel like helped him with his little jetpack shoes. And I thought that was cute. And I was like, yay, go Nubs. And I will say, like, that was the only real call out in terms of like the young Jedi. It was a Liss and Nubs situation.
Yeah.
Like Kai wasn't really in the forefront. Not that the other two
I
were
feel
either,
like
but
Liz and Nubs are just best buddies.
yes, I feel like they are.
I
I
feel
feel like
like Kai is actually the third wheel of the trio, but happens to be the leader.
yeah, he just happens to be the leader because he thinks he's the leader. I think that Liz and Nubs are just like gentle parenting him in the background. like, like
So,
no. But yeah. But the
one of,
next episode, oh sorry.
well, I was gonna say something we have missed in two episodes that we do get in the next episode is a new droid friend.
I know. I was gonna be like, what? No droids. So here's my question for the next episode, because that's not Ari, right? Or
That
was
is
that
Ari.
Ari? Yeah. Because he looks a little bit different. And I don't know
He
if
looked a
that,
little different. I had to turn on my subtitles to verify, but he is Ari.
yeah,
But also, like in the Ari episode, we never got a full body shot of him really. It was always
that's
like
true. It's
half up.
like, yeah. So I just feel like, and maybe it was because of like the environment they were in. Maybe he's slightly different.
Hmm.
Because
Cam
he is
wasn't
a Safari
around,
droid.
but it
Yeah,
made sense
no
because
Cam.
Ari was taking the creatures to the, I wrote the name
I
down.
got, yeah, Sil
Silgado's
Golta's,
Nature Preserve.
yeah. I need to write better. My handwriting is too messy. But I did enjoy Slay and Bray in this episode. The Trouble Sisters. Um, I
Were
will
they
say
both
this one.
girls?
Well, I don't know if they were both girls, but I do
I
know
felt
that
like it was a sister brother
Slay,
duo.
maybe Bray was brother,
They
but
kind of gave me the vibes of the twins in How to Train Your Dragon.
I still have not seen that. Sorry. It's on the list. It's on the list.
I did appreciate that our creature in this episode is the Gargantua named Garganchi.
So I was trying to figure out if it was named Garganchi or if Liz was just giving it like a pet name.
I think it's
Like,
both.
okay.
I think it's
But
now
okay,
named Garganchi.
yes. This one was the Gargantua was adorable. This episode was very Godzilla for me. Well,
Do,
not
do
Godzilla. Wait, which one is the monkey one? Godzilla is the dino one. King Kong. That's the one.
King Kong's not a gentle giant, though.
It depends on which version of King Kong you watch. There's one where like he's not a gentle giant, but he's aggressive because he's scared. And then they did climb tall things. And I was like, oh,
They
that's
did. Our friend Gargantua is described. I love this description because I relate so much. Shy, doesn't like crowds, and is nocturnal. Like, I
I didn't
see you,
even make that
Gargantua.
connection.
I see you.
That is funny. Um, I like how like on board the townsfolk were when people started finally listening that
Mhm.
like Gargantua is not mean. He's not
Yeah.
a monster.
This is also like
He's
another like don't judge a book by its cover, which just seems like a weird thing because we've just done that.
yeah, it really because
But this one got the point across better.
I think this one did get the
I
point
don't think
across.
Kai's episode got the point across very well.
Now, I wrote down for the lesson that just because something looks scary doesn't mean that it's not nice. So it's the
Yeah.
same thing. Um, but yeah, I was just kind of like Slay and Bray were kind of really jonesing to be heroes. And I was like, I wonder if there's a story there behind it in that like in the town they might be thought of as like not quite
Oh, see, in my mind, they were like
serious.
the town sheriffs that were supposed to, because everyone's like, yeah, they'll fix it. And I'm just like, hey, I guess these guys are like the town sheriffs, but they don't listen to anyone because they're just walking on board other people's ships and letting
I
release
know.
creatures loose.
First of all, maybe the lesson should be like, don't trespass because bad
You'll let
things will
creatures
happen.
loose, and then don't make assumptions and not listen to the people who own not own, but like are
But like we're
transporting said
transporting
creatures.
them. And it was just like they like steamrolled over the young, maybe because they were kids, but like they just kept steamrolling over
Yeah.
them. So I was just like, guys, let's calm down. But then sometimes I feel like we put a lot of stock in these children, like in the next episode, the show must go on. I feel like Nash was like the party planner, idea maker, coordinator for the entire
I think
concert.
I think Nash is older than the younglings
Yes, I think so.
because when our band, the Kublops, arrived, or the Kublops,
I think it's the Coob Bops.
Bops without the L from
Yeah.
Kublop. So they looked to me like teenagers.
Oh yes, they
And when
felt
they
like
were all near each other, I'm like, I think Nash is like a preteen. And
that would
so
make
I'm
more
putting the
sense.
young Jedi at like 8 to 10, and I think Nash is like
12.
12, 13, and I think the Kubops are teens.
Yeah, no, the Kubops definitely are way older.
Yeah.
I enjoyed our new droid, by the way. Kit, the DJ, that
Our
only
DJ.
speaks in like record scratches. Like that's the
Hmm.
noise that it makes. I thought that was cool. But I
And
that
I
does
love that RJ is a fan of Kit.
oh my God, the moment where like RJ meets Kit and it's just like all of its pieces are like all over the place and he's so fangirling
Mhm.
over the DJ
He's
droid. I
androiding and
thought
it's all, I loved it.
fan droiding. That was so cute. But
Then we have our lead singer, Metz,
yes, yes, our very
and
teen heartthrob. That's
then Bruff, who is our electric Star Wars guitar. I didn't
I
write down the
forgot
name
what they
of the,
called it. I never
I
did
did
write
not
down
write
what
down
they
the name
called
of the
it.
instruments.
But I thought that was cool. Like instead of just a band, that they elected to have like a DJ droid
Yes,
and then
I
two
appreciated a
people.
droid being in the band. We had some
Um,
nameless younglings who we have not addressed yet, but
they
they
were
were there.
such a mess. They were such a mess. I was like, they were not good at coordinating themselves. I thought it was very telling that Master Sia was like, I have to take care of these kids. You guys figure your
You
stuff out.
five. She
You
specifically
five,
said, you
you
five.
five. Figure out your stuff. I trust you to do it. I have to supervise these other younglings who are falling over themselves.
So we meet Sep, who's
Yes.
Bruff's little brother.
My favorite moment was they were like, "Thank you. You were so helpful." And he just went, "Okay, bye."
He's definitely like 5.
I was like, that's such a perfect age appropriate answer.
He's such
Like
like
the okay,
he's so
bye.
like 5. He's like, your hair's nice. Okay, bye.
I like where they were like asking deep questions, like, do you know where he went? No, I don't know. And
You
he
have
was just
purple
like,
hair. Bye.
bye. And my favorite is when they get to the dock and the two are arguing, right? Like, and it's very like classic band argument where it's
Yes.
just like, I want to sing. You only let your like you
Because
only
that's my job. I'm
as
the
the
lead
lead
singer.
singer. And
But
like
dude wrote the song. Of course the lead singer didn't write the song. Come on now.
I know. So of course he's like, I wrote the song so that I can see it. And then somehow they both end up falling into a boat going towards the rapids. My favorite thing is when they looked at the Crimson Bolt and say, "Oh, the Crimson Bolt," as if it wasn't sitting there the whole time. Like, wouldn't Nash know?
But they also responded to the rapids like they didn't know there were rapids when they are in
There
fact from their band is named after the planet they're from.
No, but not just that, but like, didn't we have a whole episode about the water course and the rapids?
Well, they
And they
weren't there. But still,
That's
they're
true.
from the town, so they should have known it was
They should
there.
know. I just thought it was so funny that the Crimson Bolt was there so coincidentally. Obviously, it's a show, but
I feel like it would have been there anyway, because where would she park the Crimson Bolt? She
that's
lives
true.
that
Maybe
that's
that's
her
just
town. She's setting things up. Like she needs access to it. She kind of asked like she acted a little shocked that it was there when it's her ship.
I think that's my thing is it's just like why was Nash
She
shocked
was
that the
like,
Crimson
"Oh, the
Bolt
Crimson Bolt." We're like, "Girl, you parked it there."
it's your ship. You parked it. But I will
R
say it was
RJ may have parked it. Honestly,
maybe
RJ probably
RJ
parked it.
RJ does a lot. RJ gets stuck doing a lot where it's like, yeah, watch the ship, park the boat, like whatever you want to do. I will say it was nice to see that Liz got like a starring role in this episode where
Yes.
like Kai and Nub stayed back. And then you just
Her
like see
logic.
Liz
Her logic was
so much
like
better.
her being like, "Does he have a favorite spot? Where do you usually go when you end rehearsals?"
Yeah. Well,
Like
she was
when I feel this way, I go to this. What would he do? Like she was so logical, be like, "This is how we're gonna track him." Because the
no,
5-year-old just said I had pretty hair. Like
I will say it again, she is the critical thinker of the group.
she really
Um
is.
And I will
Um,
say it was really cool to see her on her own use her Jedi powers to
yes.
help stop the ship from falling over. I did write a note. So like the obviously everything came out like turned out well, but I did write a note was just like, wouldn't it be funny if they went out on stage and he choked? And
I
like
just was like,
after
it was just really funny because the point of this song was literally all of Bruff's feelings.
and what's it Mets didn't even get it.
And it never clicked. Like he's singing this, and I'm like, Met's my guy.
Did you not listen to the song you were singing?
Yeah, like, were you not understanding the words here?
Yeah. No, I will say it was kind of cute where they were just like, Nash, come play with us. And in my head, I was like, oh, does Nash also play an instrument? And then she
Oh,
got up
Nash still plays an instrument.
and was like with the tambourine. She's like, I'm playing in the band. I'm playing in the band. Like
Oh, she's a drummer somewhere. You know, she's got a drum kit in her room. She's just too cool not to.
she has to. But so lesson wise, what do you think the lesson was?
Listen to each other. Listen to your friends.
That's literally, I wrote listen and share.
Yeah, listen and share, but like,
Really just listen.
because I really think Mets was our big, like they, yes, they were both at fault, as Liz has pointed out, but Mets really is because Bruff's like, dude, you only care about the concert. You don't listen to me. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you're like, you didn't listen to the lyrics of the
I'm like,
song you were
you, Mets,
singing.
you started this ball rolling.
Yeah, this was
Now,
mostly
Bruff
his
didn't
fault.
handle it the best by not communicating
Communicating.
that he was just going to quit the band because,
Metz wasn't listening to him. So
yeah.
maybe it's just like listen and clear communication.
Communication is our communication. We'll go with
Our
that.
main theme. Our main theme. So, in this selection of episodes, what was your like who was your favorite out of them four?
I think Liz wins these episodes.
Yeah, I think so too. I think she had the most moments where like her strengths were pushed forward. Um,
She's
yeah.
a better leader than Kai. She's a critical thinker. She has a
Yes.
plan. So
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree.
that's
But
why I did my purple today, because I was like, we're gonna go with Liz over here. So I brought out the purple lipstick, the purple eyeshadow. We did it all purple for Liz.
I'm still waiting. I ordered the purple stuff from Rem for the Elphaba set. Did I tell you that? I
Yes.
where to find us? I am at Mercurial Conjurer at TikTok and Instagram, and most of you know Danny
Matt
is.
Mandrix and Mischief on all the things. And then you can find the podcast on Not the Droids Pod on pretty much all the things now. The link trees are up, the website is up. We're getting things out there. So just
Yeah.
follow along, join us, like, subscribe, share, save, all those words that the youths use, the younglings use.
Youths. And then, of course, we put it on the Instagram. But if you are at all interested in joining us for an episode, whether it's for Skeleton Crew, Acolyte, or anything that could even be further in the future, whatever you feel strongly about, email us at notthedroidspod@gmail.com. We're always interested in finding people to bring on.
Yes, we are. And then just remember, we're not the droids you're looking for.
But we're the droids you're going to get.